Okay, here we are at the 2019 Muscle Car and Corvette Nationals show in the Barn Finds section. This was a very popular video last year, so we've decided to do another one this year. And it appears, after a quick walkthrough, that this year's Barn Find section is even more interesting than last year. Let's take a walk through. This is an American Motors AMX3 factory concept car. Looks quite a bit different than what was actually produced as far as an AMX. And I'm very curious how many of these cars will actually end up being restored. As you'll see in the video, some of them are quite desirable as far as drivetrain combinations. So this is a 70 Challenger RT 446 pack car, shaker hood car. No engine in it currently, but it wouldn't surprise me if somebody gets a hold of this car to ultimately do a full-on restoration. 63 Studebaker Lark, Supercharged. This one's actually in very nice condition. A lot of people don't truly know what these cars are, but definitely cool for their time. Supercharged car back in '63. Boss 429 car for 1969. This one I'm very curious as to whether or not it'll just stay as a survivor. Everything seems to be complete under the hood. Be a great car to restore since everything is there. Just take the original factory parts, refurbish them, and do a concourse restoration. 73 Dodge Charger Rallye edition. The 73 Chargers had a discussion with a very prominent Mopar collector yesterday, and he feels that these cars are becoming a bit desirable in the market because they are very obtainable, is the term that I used. This one happens to be a sunroof car, 440 cubic inches under the hood, so this one's a bit rare. 70 Buick G.S, stage 1 4-speed car. Rare. Stage 1 car is nothing to laugh at. Again, another very desirable car. Me and another videographer are going to swap positions here. Buick Stage 1, Torque King. This is a 67 Hemi GTX convertible, an automatic transmission car, one of 10 made. Not rusted, not rotted all the way through. Another very desirable car for ultimately a complete restoration. Looks like this car might be for sale. Another complete interior, ready for a complete restoration. Here's an interesting car, 69 Copo Camaro, former super stock drag car. It's common back then. So you get a hold of one of these things, throw a set of slicks on the back, along with a couple other modifications, and it's wheels up on the drag strip. Wouldn't be surprised if this car just remains as is. 69 Mustang Mach 1, 428 Super Cobra Jet, 4-speed car, a drag pack car as well. One of 29 drag pack winter blue Mach 1s. And it's got a 391 Traction-Lok Differential, which makes it a 1 of 19. Another car that's not rusted and rotted through and would make a very good candidate for a full-on restoration. when you're not changing every sheet metal panel on the car. Much more reasonable in price to get the car done. There's another Hemi car. This is a Dana 60 rear end 4-speed car. A black 68 Coronet RT. Looks like a day 2 car. Lifted in the rear. A little bit of a tire in the back. Another car that is not rusted and rotted. Seems to be a theme here. 69 Dart GTS 440. Lightweight cars. And 440 cubic inches, this thing will scoot right along and surprise a lot of other cars. 64 Dodge 330. Claimed to be Mr. Norm's Max Wedge 4-speed car. No windshield in it currently, but see a bow in the roof there. Set of slicks in the back. Another interesting car. Here we have a car that my friend Bill Foss would like. A 74 Gremlin X. Bill, this is your speed right here. Bill's the owner of The Driving Image in Farmington, Connecticut. Selling all your speed equipment and truck accessories. Straight 6. Bill would drop a 390 in this car in a heartbeat, or a 401, and get this thing right on the drag strip. '69 Charger RT, dual quad Hemi car. Another car that is not rusted and rotted. Don't know if that's the original engine for the car, but it's certainly a Hemi. Speaking of Hemis, we walk by some of the people here. 68 Charger RT. Very desirable in the market right now. '78 Mazda Spider. Looks like it's got a transplant under the hood. '74 Trans Am. And sure enough, there's a Super Duty 455 on the hood scoop. If this is in fact a true Super Duty car, great candidate for a full-on restoration. '73, '74 Super Duty cars are desirable. And then look at that. Formula 350 on the fender, and that fender looks like it matches the rest of the car. So more than likely this is not a true Super Duty car. That fender matches the rest. And we got the emblem on the other side as well. Sure enough, there's some dealer information here. I'll check this out later to see what that happens to say. Survivor 65 Corvette. Isn't there a song written about a little red Corvette? And what do we have here? 68 Roadrunner. So 383 car. The number of 383 Roadrunner cars running around, no pun intended, out on the street. The number produced was quite high. Fun car to drive. This one happens to be a 4-speed with claimed 15,000 miles. Found in a storage garage in Rochester, New York. A little bit more than a year ago, this car was found. Let's take a peek, see if the window's open. It sure is. Here's another car that's not rusted or rotted. Green on green, 4-speed car. Everything seems to be there. Good candidate for restoration, but by the time that this car was brought to factory spec, based on current market value, you'd be upside down on the car. But there's people that desired one of these as a kid or had one when they were younger, want another one. Maybe the color combination, engine and transmission is exactly what they had, so they'll move forward and actually buy the car and restore it. Don't know if it's actually for sale, but certainly a great barn find. Moving on to a 70 Ford Mustang Mach 1, the 428 Cobra jet car. Obviously stored in a barn for quite some time, but another car with everything present under the hood, including air conditioning. Looks like this car may have been in a moist garage. Got a big dent in the roof here. Another one over here in this corner. Repairable. I would definitely repair that roof before I replaced it. A lot of surface rust, which is definitely workable. Quarters are not rotted through. So another car that would be desirable for restoration. Moving on to an Olds 442. I believe this is a W30 car. Sure is. No transmission, no engine, and no transmission. Don't know if they're around. There's a car day 1. There's a car day 2. Day 2 category is popular. No motor, no trans. Looks like a decent car that maybe you could buy and get an engine transplant. Don't bother with paint and body. Just polish everything that's there. Make it very presentable. And drive it with a big smile. Here's another 70 442 W30 car. This one happens to be a convertible. His and hers automatic. That's what Pontiac called it. Other companies called it a dual gate. Proper W30 hood. This car, by the way it sits in the front, looks like it has an engine and transmission in it. Little story on the car. Be a big dollar car at the end of a restoration, a W30 convertible. If it has the original engine and transmission in it, this car might be quite worthy of a full-on restoration. At the red inner fender wells. Does have some rust in the quarters, but the upper portions seem to be pretty solid. After the car was media blasted, then a decision could be made as to whether or not you actually want to repair what's there, which is possible when done properly, and it could be a great job, or if somebody would actually want to cut those off. And be up for discussion once everything is exposed. Have a wing car, which is probably one of 30 in the building this weekend. There's an entire other section on the other half of the building. 65 Corvette chassis. This was a cutaway display. So you have internals exposed. It's pretty cool to see all the inner workings. We got a muffler cut up here. It's really neat to see what a naked Corvette looks like. Disc brakes in the rear. See the independent rear suspension. Ring and pinion gears. See the clutches in the positive traction unit. Small diameter drive shaft. 4-speed transmission. Clutch pressure plate is there. Looks like they've chromed the flywheel and the pressure plate. A fuel injected car. So they have all that cut away as well. You can see the unequal length upper and lower control arms, disc brakes in the front, radiators slanted back. All the radiators remained slanted back like that until the C7, where they slanted them forward. It was determined that they would get more efficient cooling out of it that way. So there you have it, folks. The barn find section at the 2019 Muscle Car and Corvette Nationals Show. Hope you enjoyed the video.
Muscle Car Appraisal thanks you for watching our video. Please subscribe to our channel. Please like our video and hit the bell notification. And once again, we thank you for looking at our video. Have a great day.